competition, and all athletic events. Please do your part to show respect for the coaches, players, officials, and fellow sports fans throughout tonight's game. And don't forget to get in on the Chuck a Duck competition coming up at halftime. All benefits proceed. Congratulations. And now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, your starters for Brunswick are number 2, junior Johnny Porter. Number 3, senior Logan Gray. Number 10, senior Brendan Shaw. Number 21, junior Ryan Legg. And number 24, sophomore Owen Quinn. The Dragons are coached by Ben Park and assisted by Tyler Zamore, Justin Godwin, Ryan Sosi, and John Squires. And now, the lineup for your Morse High Shipbuilders. Number 20, sophomore Isaac Amundsen. Number 21, junior Dylan Rook. Number 23, junior Colton O'Connor. Number 3, senior Bryce Bustamante. And number 1, senior Nolan Blackburn. The Shipbuilders are coached by Steven Stewart, assisted by Jeff Brown, Nick Green, Tristan Carlin, Dave Green, and Dan Hammond. Your officials for tonight's contest are Mr. Chris Whitney and Mr. Jim Allen. Our game timer tonight is Mr. Andy Kenny.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Morse High School in Bath, Maine, as your Brunswick Dragons boys basketball team will face the Shipbuilders of Morse. Kaz, odd order anthem before lineups tonight got me out of sorts as Shaw will be thrown down. Kaz, you gotta love the sounds of a high school basketball game. By far the loudest high school sport there is.
Yeah, Robert, absolutely. The confined gymnasium plus the rowdy crowd, it just makes for a lot of noise to reverberate all over the place. Oh, you gotta love it.
Here's Porter, will give it to Shaw. Shaw guarded there by Becker. Here's Gray. Gray back to Shaw. Shaw to Gray. Gray will survey. They're just playing catch out there. Shaw will bounce to Porter. Porter dangerous from 3, and he hits that one off the front rim. Shaw will collect it and dump it back to Gray. Gray will drive into the paint and get the whistle.
Now, Robert, right out of the gate, Morse is sitting in a 2-3 zone. The Dragons are coming at that by running Johnny Porter on a triangle on the high post, meaning wherever the zone goes, he flares to. He's the guy that they're trying to hit in the middle, and he'll find the cutting man for the cut to the basket. We'll see it again here if Morse continues to sit in this zone.
Kaz, that is why you're here. Thank you for the ball knowledge. Here is Porter. Will bounce it, trying to find Lay in the middle of that zone. Kaz, you run a zone when you're scared of the other team's offense beating you one-on-one. Is that correct?
More or less, but you're more scared of them driving inside. A zone really, 2-3 zone especially, really traps the ball in the wing and forces them to take a bad shot.
Yeah, it's easier to shoot from the outside against the zone. Gray up to Quinn. Quinn will dump it inside to Porter. Couldn't handle it, and he'll be scooped up there by a coin. Here's a coin guarded by Gray. A coin will spin, get into the paint, and is knocked down by Lay. It's caught by Amundsen. Amundsen off the glass and scores. It is 2-0.
This crowd is electric, Robert. I cannot hear myself think already.
This is easily the best atmosphere I've been in this season, and it might be all season by the end of it. Here is Shaw for three. He's got it. Brendan Shaw, to the roar of the traveling Brunswick crowd, has put the Dragons on top.
Big start from Shaw there. That's very important. You can't let Morse get a lot of momentum, especially with the crowd at their back.
Shaw will bounce to Gray off the turnover. Here is Porter to Lay. Lay will bounce it, reverse off the glass, and score.
Yeah, that's also huge. Just anything flashy that goes in is big early because it's a momentum swinging play. It gives our team confidence and hits Morse hard.
Brandon Ware on the camera tonight, folks. I'm Robert Bowen along with Kosinski on the microphone. We have Tommy Visco working some in-game stats as well as Ryan Livesay on the scoreboard.
Good start for the Dragons here. Very excited to be here, Robert. It's going to be a great game. We can already tell.
That's Bustamante who hit it off the front rim. Shaw wrestling with Amundsen. And this will be a coin to inbound. He has Gray in front of him. He will find Root there. Dylan Root, the starting quarterback for the Shipbuilders this season in the sport of football. Here is Becker. We'll find Amundsen. Amundsen will stop and bounce back to Bustamante. Here's a three from Becker, back rim, and the rebound will be corralled by Rylan Lay. Lay up the court, caught by Quinn. Owen Quinn will bounce outside to Gray. Gray for three, and it will not go. Shaw rebound there to Lay. Lay back to Gray. Gray will get the mulligan. No, give it to the Lay instead.
We're going to get an on the floor, on the arm foul there. Rylan Lay's shot had not gone up yet, or I guess they're going to get him with a push. But Lay was looking to get a shot up, was pushed, and will remain on the floor. Dragons will inbound here.
Here is Gray back to Shaw.
They're going to say he was out of bounds on the catch there. Maybe.
Amundsen will bounce and will be caught by a coin. A coin up ahead to Bustamante, guarded by Owen Quinn. Bustamante will try to give it back to a coin. Now he finally does. A coin inside, and Becker tried to jump to make that catch, could not. Brunswick basketball.
So what he just did there is what a coach hates. You leave the ground and pass. You don't want to ever be doing that. You want to get your pass with 2 feet down so that if the pass isn't there, you can still hold possession. But once you're in the air, you can't come down with it.
Here is Lay, will take it under the glass, and he will knock down Amundsen. The Shipbuilder crowd is fired up.
They're going to ring him up for a charge there, and Dragons will come out in a press now. This is a man press.
Kaz, I'm going to say this probably 20 times tonight during this game, but just, deep pass there by Amundsen. Bustamante couldn't put it away. Gray here to Quinn. Quinn back to Gray. Gray will rifle across to Porter. Porter couldn't find Lay. 21 in white is Dylan Root, who's the quarterback for Morse, but that looked like a quarterback pass there by Amundsen going deep to Bustamante.
Yeah, that's what happens in the man press sometimes. Is that say for example you run a diamond press, which is 2 guys on each wing, 1 guy in the front court, 1 guy in the back court, and then a man presser. You're never going to get beat over the top because you have a long guy. But in this situation, in a man press, 1 guy feints towards the bucket and goes the other way. All of a sudden, you got a guy, essentially, in football terms, running a go route after he's burned his corner.
Just, again, I'm going to say this a whole bunch of times tonight. Wonderful atmosphere. Got huge. You know, the Brunswick-Mount Airet rivalry is known as the biggest around the WIC, but the Brunswick-Morse still 2 very close proximity schools. Definitely is a rivalry, and you can see that the fans showed out for it. We have a huge student section from Brunswick to our left, and you can see the big Shipbuilder section across from us.
Yes, and tonight the ship will sink. The Dragons will set flame to it overnight, and we will not be seeing any ships tomorrow morning. Dragons off to a hot start.
Something like the scene in the Battle of the Five Armies, the Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies, where Smaug comes out of the mountain, goes down to the floating village and burns it.
Right on, Robert.
Brendan Shaw will look to channel the fire of Smog, the dragon. Shaw will loft it up, it'll be caught by Owen Quinn. Quinn there to Lay. Morse still sitting in that zone. Here's Lay. Caught him jumping. And now Quinn will loft inside to Gray. Gray outside to Porter. Porter, Shaw. Shaw back to Porter, cross to Quinn.
Logan's running that triangle now. They had Logan Gray in the triangle there. And not a bad look. Get Logan to break the zone. As the zone collapses on him, there will be guys open on the wing. That's the look they're trying to get.
Bustamante has it swatted by Shaw. Bounce back to Bustamante off the glass and in. They'll cut it to a 1-point deficit, of course, as you can tell, thanks to our scoreboard sponsored by Singer Domingo's Portside Real Estate and run by Ryan Livesay. Here's Porter for three. He's got it! Second three of the night for the Dragons. And it's Johnny Porter. We know he's dangerous from distance.
That's a good shot from Johnny. He's starting tonight in Owen's absence. Owen McGrath, of course, was not in school today and therefore could not play. He's not even on the bench. He may be homesick. Wherever you are, Owen, we are here praying for you, and we miss you tonight. Johnny Porter is taking your spot as of now, though, but he will get subbed off.
We're also missing, of course, the great Ethan Patterson, who said he would be tuning into this game. Ethan is of course, the boys ice hockey captain. Brunswick Freeport plays Coney tomorrow night. That'll be right here on BHSN. Kaz and I will be on the call for that, yeah?
We will. Very excited, Rob.
Pass inside. Amundsen.
That'll be a foul every single time that happens. You got three guys in the air, all nearly vertical, but if the guy jumps up, draws any kind of contact, looks like he's gotten fouled, it'll be a foul 10 times out of 10, Rob.
I believe that's our first foul of the December night here. Amundsen will miss that one, hit both sides of the rim. Kaz, I gotta love the wonderful close angle that we have here tonight on BHSN, where this is a bit of a smaller gym, but it's a very nice building. Pretty new school here in Bath, Morse High School. Just a few years ago, they had this building built. Very nice facility. Here's Lay to Pernell Maez. His foot might have been on the line, and that ball will not find the hoop. Here is Carver. He'll take that one guarded by Pernell Maez. Carver into his right hand will drive it and lose it out of bounds.
Dragons are fouling a good amount here early. That's not great. They're going to have a lot of guys in some deep fouls, but it's all right. The aggressive play style is not bad. I like Gabe taking a shot down there. Gabe, why not let it fly? Pernell Maez, he's not afraid of the odd shot.
Root will find Becker. And now here's a coin into the paint off the glass, and it will find its way through. 2-point game here in Bath. Low scoring first quarter, largely credit to that zone defense by Morse slowing the game down. Here is Gray underneath the glass, outside to Shaw. Shaw for three. Won't go. Morse basketball.
I don't hate that play for the Dragons. That's a good look from Shaw. It's the zone being broken is the more important thing, though. Getting it low, the zone collapses, and all of a sudden you got runners up top wide open.
That was Lennox Moore. Will be collected by Pernell Maez. Could not put the ball in the back of the net.
That's a harder shot than it looks like. He went up through contact, and is that going to put the Dragons? That will. The Dragons are now over the limit, and the Morse, Shipbuilders will get to shoot bonus shots.
This will be the aforementioned Dylan Root. The trademark Dragons are not real chant coming from that Morse student section. There is really no answer to that, Kaz.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's a shipbuilder?
What is a shipbuilder? You build a ship? Nice. Have fun.
Bath Ironworks, of course, a great supplier of local jobs here in the greater Bath area. They are not sponsoring us, though.
We do not have any sponsors from Bath Ironworks. No, we do have a sponsor from Singer Domingo's Portside Real Estate Group.
Oh, really?
They are sponsoring our scoreboard.
Huh. Okay. Gray will find Shaw. Shaw will survey. Will take his dribble. Find Gray. Gray is open. Back to Shaw. Shaw inside to Lay. Lay will bounce Lennox more off the glass and off the rim.
That's a perfect play by the Brunswick Dragons. Swing it around, get their zone uncomfortable, break the zone with a triangle entry pass, and boom, dish it low. Lennox Moore goes up with a shot, gets fouled. That will work 10 times out of 10. It's all about breaking the zone for the Dragons. That's what's going to win this game or lose this game for them.
Lennox Moore, that was the first foul by Morse tonight. That is a loud crowd, Kaz. Is that going to be in Lennox Moore's head at all?
Is that what? Sorry, Rob?
Is that going to be in Moore's head at all?
Yeah, I think it will.
Okay. I hope you guys can hear us because I can't really hear Kaz at all. Gotta love these loud atmospheres. Here is Carver. I believe that went out on Amundsen. It did. And that'll be Dragon basketball. Gray to inbound. He has Shaw to his left, and he will give it right to him. Brendan Shaw back across to Gray. Owen Quinn will look to check in for the Dragons. Here is Lay. Has it stolen by Carver. That is a great defensive play. Sorry, Becker. Becker will drive inside and could not get the layup to fall. Gray again pressured by Becker.
Dragons need to be playing heads-up basketball now. That zone defense is now going out to a full-court zone press. Something that definitely got to watch out for. You're always victim of the person sneaking up behind you. Jose Alvarado is a great NBA example of somebody who does that a lot consistently.
And that's exactly what Nolan Becker did. Here now is Porter. Porter inside to Lay. Lay is surrounded by 4 Shipbuilders, and it's stolen by Becker. Becker up ahead to Carver. Carver gives it back to Root. Root will survey. Fire inside. It's knocked away by Shaw and turned over to Johnny Porter. Porter will find Lay. Lay to Quinn. Quinn will pump, go inside, give it outside, and it's swatted away by Lester. Lester all alone. He lost the ball.
That's not the play you're looking for at all, is Morse. That play ties the game if he can control it, but instead he dribbles out of bounds.
Lay will inbound nonchalantly to Brendan Shaw. Shaw to Gray. Sorry, to Porter. Shaw all the way across to Quinn. Quinn to Shaw at the top of the key. He'll dribble, find Porter. Porter will pump, take it inside, and lose that ball. Lester gets the steal for the Shipbuilders, at least for the moment. And now Becker will retain. Shaw will knock it away and steal it right back for Brunswick. Shaw to Porter. Porter already has 1 3. We'll give it back to Shaw. Shaw for 3. Bang! Brendan Shaw extends the Dragon lead.
That's a good shot, although I'd like to see it quicker. The zone is starting to beat the Dragons. They need to be getting shots in the air when they have them. Earlier, probably 2 possessions ago, Porter had an open look and decided to pass it up to dish it inside. I'd just rather take any open shot they get right now. That zone is operating really well.
Kaz, I believe that was my first career Mike Breen style bang on a 3-pointer, so just hope everyone was aware of that historic moment. Ethan Patterson, very good at those bangs on the 3-pointers. That was my first.
Congratulations, Robert. That's a big one.
That is Brendan Shaw's 6th point, both coming from threes. Rylan Lay leads the team with 3 rebounds. We thank Tommy Visco very much for keeping the stats for us tonight. As I mentioned, Ryan Livesay on the scoreboard, Kosinski and Robert Bowen on the microphone, and Brandon Ware on the camera.
Refs are talking something over here. Not entirely sure what it is.
Gotta love being this close to the action here, Kaz. We can almost hear what they're saying, but unfortunately I am talking over what they're saying, so you probably can't hear.
We're gonna hit a moment of silence here. The Morse Shipbuilders.
Coach Clark speaking with the officials.
It was a technical for something.
It was a technical for something is what Tommy said. So that's why Brendan Shaw's going to get this free throw. Shaw, ice in his veins. He hits it. 6-point lead for Brunswick.
I'm not entirely sure who they assessed the technical on there or why, but they did.
We'll have to go back to the replay.
Oh, wait.
Shaw hits both. Ice in his veins, Kaz.
And the Dragons will also take over possession now.
Quinn will find Shaw. Shaw will find Quinn. Quinn back to Shaw, open at the top of the key. He'll dribble, find Lay. Lay to Shaw. A lot of those, just tons of outside passing here, trying to find holes in the zone. Porter, surrounded by that zone defense, will fire it off of Carver and out of bounds. Savvy play from Porter.
Great heads-up play by Johnny Porter there. What the Dragons need to be doing is touching the zone, essentially, touching the triangle, essentially. That ball needs to be into Johnny. It needs to be off his hands just as quickly. That's the way they'll break the zone. The defense will turn their heads, try and collapse in the zone, and the ball will already be out.
Shaw finds Quinn. Quinn back to Shaw. Shaw for another three off the far side of the rim. Lay will dribble, find Quinn. Quinn to Porter. Porter to Lay. Lay will drive, find Shaw underneath the rim.
That's a great play by Shaw there. Backdoor cut, pick up the ball, go up with it, and then flail as soon as you get contact.
You might be able to see there behind the basket, Sam Jansen, Brunswick freshman. You can find him and his photos on Instagram at Sam Jansen Photography.
He's a great photographer. He works closely with BHSN now. A wonderful hockey player as well.
Kaz, he appears to be wearing some sort of Boston College hat. I'm not sure where he got that.
Robert, I think that's your Boston College hat because you are committed to Boston College in the fall.
What?
Let's go.
Speaking of, that is Brendan Shaw's 10th point. He leads the team in points. Speaking of commitments, Brendan Shaw will be attending Connecticut College this fall. Score there by Carver, and he gets the and one.
That's just a nice Euro step finish. Draw the foul. That's huge for Morse. They needed a little something there, or else they might be sunk. And the AD is having a talk with Bebo, Sam Jansen, and Ruffino.
That is interesting. Here is Porter for three as time expires. It will not fall. And a very high energy first quarter of basketball comes to an end. The Dragons lead 16-10.
And although 16-10 feels low scoring, the Dragons are on pace for 64 points, which is more than they ever scored last season. So despite it seeming low scoring, this is pretty high scoring for the Dragons. There's a bake sale here for anybody interested in showing up now to get some kind of baked goods. Just thought I should mention that.
If anyone wants to shoot a message to Kaz or I, have us pick something up for you, you can pay us back. We'll drive to your home and drop off some brownies or anything just to support the great high school of Morse.
We do operate somewhat as a delivery system.
Sam Jansen, you can see him on screen. That's what I was talking about, guys, in the BC hat, which is mine. Tommy Visco, we thank once again for getting the stats for us. Brendan Shaw leads the team with 10 points in that first quarter of action. Rylan Lay had the most rebounds with 4. Not too many turnovers for the Dragons in that first quarter.
I can't tell what's turnovers.
I understand, Tommy, but in general, still wasn't a whole lot.
What?
Because they're running the zone, not a ton of turnovers. Yeah. We'll get the huddle here with back to the original starting 5. Gray, Shaw, Lay, Quinn, and Johnny Porter.
And we now know that... I have misinformed Sam Jansen. I thought the sides would flip and they didn't. That is my mistake. I feel bad now.
Porter inside to Gray. Gray with the mid-range jumper. Couldn't get it to fall. Here now is Peyton Price. Price will loft it. Will be caught. Oh, great. There's not a 15 on my roster, Kaz. Gotta love it.
You know, some things are just better left unknown. Maybe it's number 15's name.
Here is Price. And off the glass, Dylan Root will score. Here's Quinn back to Shaw. Shaw back to Quinn. Quinn will rifle it there to Gray. Gray, pressure from behind by Price. Back to Quinn. Quinn finds Porter, top of the key. He will try to get the ball to Shaw, but guarded tightly by Carver. Still, Shipbuilders sitting in that 2-3 zone. Gray outside to Quinn. Quinn to Porter. Porter will pump. Now give it to Quinn. Quinn is open and he'll lose it out of bounds. The turf monster knocked that one away.
That's rough for the Dragons. That would have been a nice possession to get a bucket on and add a little bit to their lead, but instead it remains a 4-point game and Morse will look to inbound.
Roots will throw. Owen Quinn pressuring tightly. Morse is able to draw the double and Price will find the open Root. Root finds Carver, open for three, too far. Caught, and now back outside, Price for three. He drains it. It is a 1-point game, Kaz, for the heavily favored Brunswick Dragons, sitting at number 3 in Class A North. Morse sitting at number 13 in Class B South.
Yeah, Brunswick definitely looks uncomfortable here. They're not used to that zone, but that's a big bucket from Logan Gray to swing the momentum a little bit the other way.
Here is Carver. Will be guarded tightly by Shaw. Carver outside. The unknown soldier has it swatted out by Porter.
Robert, I'll tell you one thing about this game that's probably making a big difference right now. Running a man press is exhausting. Running a zone defense is not. You can run a zone defense all day and your boys won't get tired, but you're sitting in a man press, that means your guys are running full court every time you're on defense.
So that means Morse will inevitably win the war of attrition?
Yes, they'll retain energy for much longer.
Well, we'll see if the public address announcer tells us what number 15's name is. That's if he hits it, but he does not, so we will not know. Porter will bounce to Shaw. Shaw spins. Porter's open. Finds Gray. Gray will drive into the paint. Outside to Shaw. Shaw's open. Unselfishly will give it to Porter, but he travels. Porter did not agree with that call.
That's not the right call. That was not a travel. It's a double pivot. It's completely legal. That's the incorrect call by the referee.
But of course, Kaz is just speaking hypothetically. As we know, the officials are always right here on BHSN. Here will be Dylan Root. Will loft it up for Porter. Will look to intercept it, and he's able to get the steal. That's a beautiful play by the cornerback-looking Johnny Porter. Quinn back to Shaw. Shaw finds Porter. He's open. Quick pass inside to Gray. Gray, Shaw's open for three, and he can't get it to fall. Corralled by 15 in white, whose name we are yet to know. Bryce Carver out of bounds. I believe it went off of Root, and it did. Root not happy with Carver. Wanted Carver to put that ball right in his face.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, though, it hits you in the hands, you got to catch it. That's what my dad always says about football. It applies to basketball as well. If the ball hits you in the hands, you better come down with it.
Here is Gray. It's swatted down by Carver and corralled by Lester. That'll be Morse ball. It was out on lay. Kaz, to be in zone, you have to be able to move the ball effectively, and the Dragons are passing the ball at an extremely high level.
Yeah. I don't love their zone breaker right now. They need a triangle, but they need a guy on the low block. They need a guy cutting, maybe an up screen, maybe a down screen, a flare screen, anything. Just mix it up a little bit. I would like the idea of screening your guy in the triangle and seeing if that gets somebody open.
Here is Lay diving for the ball on the ground. Root somehow came away with it. Oh my goodness, Dylan Root diving on that ball. That one, oh no. Brandon Ware will make a beautiful pass to the official. That was dangerous.
Brandon Ware showcasing some basketball ability there. Picked up the ball at his feet, made an excellent pass right to the official, wasted no time.
That is the second time that sort of thing has happened this season. In the boys soccer regional semifinal, we had Finn White kick a ball right up near us, almost hit the camera. I had to throw the ball back to the official. We get a basketball near us now. Kaz, I hope it does not happen in a hockey game. I think a puck would be a little scarier than a basketball or a soccer ball.
Yeah, that would hurt, Robert. I mean, if a puck came flying at you, personally, I'm pushing you in front of it and you're taking the hit. I'm not taking that hit.
If it's going towards the camera, I am absolutely diving in front of that camera to save the iPad, personally.
All right, you dive in front of the camera, I'll dive the other way. Well, let's just cancel out. Velocity will cancel out.
Sounds good, Kaz. Well, we'll see if any pucks fly in front of us tomorrow night at 7 p.m. as Brunswick Freeport will take on Coney for boys hockey. Right here on BHSN. Dylan Root, front rim and out.
If Bath is better at shooting free throws, They're a much better team tonight. And we're going to see freshman Jackson Tebow check into the game for Brunswick.
I believe this is the earliest that Tebow has come into a game this season, Kaz.
Yeah, it looks like Brunswick's going with an energy lineup here. Quinn, White, and Tebow are an energy backcourt, and that's got to stop happening.
As Kaz mentioned, this is going to be a tiring game for the Dragons and not so tiring for Morse sitting in that 2-3 zone.
Exactly. And I think energy guys are going to help Brunswick. Finn White's a huge energy guy. Owen Quinn, big energy guy. Jackson Tebow, all energy players.
Quinn quickly moves the ball to Gray. Gray will pump, gets inside of Lester. Can't put it away.
I like that. That's the way to beat a zone. You're not going to necessarily get an open look just by swinging the ball around. You got to drive to the basket and either put it up or kick it out and shoot it immediately. But they got to stop just like holding on to the ball for so long. They'll end up losing possession more.
Here is Logan Gray for the free throw, and he misses it. The Dragons have generally been pretty good tonight from the line. Most of those have been from Brendan Shaw, though. Maybe all of them.
Yeah, Brendan Shaw definitely a good free throw shooter, but Dragons do take free throw shooting very seriously.
Gray hits his second. Quinn with a nice poke, but Price is able to regain it. Loft it up for Root. Quick pass to Becker. Couldn't handle it. It's out of bounds. One more time, just want to appreciate the wonderful energy here at Morse High School. Beautiful facility, very recently built school. Quinn here to Gray, back to Quinn. Back to Gray, to Tebow. Tebow tries to get it back to Gray, and he does. Logan Gray will survey, find Quinn. Quinn will stare down that zone, give it to Gray. Gray outside of Tebow, quick pass inside to Finn White. Lay is able to corral it, will spin, surround it, off the glass, and he scores. Rylan Lay, a beautiful play in the paint to put one away.
Rylan Lay is just way bigger than Landon Lester there. That's the bigger guy wins, and that was Lay.
Oh, Lay with a huge hit. He lays out Peyton Price. Kaz, I'm not quite sure if that's legal.
Might not be, but I love it. The aggression and energy is what the Dragons are going to win this game off of.
Lennox Moore will check back in and take out Lay, size for size. Of course, you can see directly across the court from us Trevor Garish, who graduated last year, the big man for the Dragons for about 3 seasons. Dylan Root puts that one away. Quinn to Gray.
And we do need to take a moment to appreciate Trevor Garish because he was an absolute anchor to that team, just being the big double-double guy inside his final season. Consistent 10 and 10, but he made it scary for other teams to go in the paint.
Since we're doing shout-outs right now, let's work back to our second Ethan Patterson shout-out of the night. Thank you for watching, Mr. Co-President of BHSN.
Absolutely, we do appreciate Ethan. We miss his presence here tonight.
Lennox Moore, as that one swatted, he's able to collect his own rebounds.
They'll say it's on the floor. They're going to get an on the arm, on the floor. Dragons for the inbound now.
Moore will give it to Gray. Gray to White. White's open. Gray is open for 3, and Gray has not been able to connect from distance so far tonight, guys.
No, but I like the confidence to shoot it. The Dragons need to be taking looks that they get, and I think that's one of the looks that they're getting.
Bustamante has it swatted by Gray. Will he go for the dunk? No! Logan Gray misses the dunk. Cannot imagine Coach Clark is going to be too thrilled about that, Kev.
That's a good look. I don't mind him going for the dunk there. If he lands that dunk, that's a huge energy swinging play.
What is the call here, Kaz?
It's just going to be a contact foul, but Dragons are too many fouls in, so it'll be free shots.
Logan Gray dunked the ball twice last game against Gardner. I believe he has 3 on the season.
I believe that's right.
Bustamante will miss. I believe that puts him at 3 for 5 on dunk attempts on the year, from what I've heard.
That sounds about right. Bath is absolutely shipping bricks from the free throw line.
Gray to Quinn, to Moore, to Gray, to Tebow, to Quinn, to Gray. I hope you guys just like me saying names over and over again. That is what happens when you play against a zone and you're not trying to dodge. Gray will loft it. It's caught by Quinn. Quinn to White. White will fire inside to Moore off the glass, and he misses.
And just not quite enough mustard on that one, and they're going to get another foul. And Dragons' foul trouble is starting to get real because they're going to have players that have too many fouls soon, and Morse will head to the line for 2 more.
Cornell Myers will check back in, Kaz, what you're talking about, energy guys. 14 in black will wait to do just that.
Cornell Myers is a smart kid, very smart with the ball. I think to go against this tight Morse defense, it's good to have a real general on the floor, and I think Gabe Cornell Myers could be that guy.
Bustamante cuts it to a 1-point game, Kaz. Once again, absolutely shocking first half. Brunswick ranks number 3 in Class A North, Morse number 13 in Class B South.
Yeah, Dragons should probably be winning this by a bit more than they are.
Cornell Myers will bounce it and find Quinn. Owen Quinn will find Gray. Gray has Cornell Myers somewhat open, in that corner. Here's White, finds Quinn. Cornell Myers will dribble. Back to Quinn. Quinn has space, finds Cornell Myers. Here's Gray. The Dragons might set a record for completed passes here tonight, Kaz. But only 21 points.
Looking like Caleb Williams.
Here is Quinn for 3. Can't get it to go. Finn White goes up for that rebound. Couldn't win the battle against Becker. Cornell Myers will swat it out of bounds and will stay with Morse.
I mean, obviously you'd like to score that, but Dragons are now going to go into some kind of defensive set here. They'll take their man press off. Half-court trap, maybe? No, they're backing up. It'll just be man defense.
Kaz, the Dragons, as we've said, have scored 70 points twice this season. They had 78 against Gardner, and I believe 75 in that first game against Greeley. Or when it was 78 and then 75 in the past game. Now the other way around.
In their first game this season, they scored 75.
Yeah,
the opposing team scored 39.
Okay.
Then last game, 78, and the opposing team scored 45.
The point being, if you do a quick math about projected scores, that would equal about 42 points. I just realized that Ryan Livesay did not change the quarter to the second quarter, guys. Just so you know, it is the second. Here is Cornell Myers for 3. Can't get it to go. The Dragons' 3 woes continue. I'm going to get that fixed here, guys, for this last minute. You want to just press lose full screen, and then right there, Nice. Thank you, Kaz. Ryan Livesay, besides for that, has done a fantastic job on the scoreboard. We thank him so much for doing that. We have a nice 5-man crew tonight on BHSN. Tony Visco on the stats, Brandon Ware on the camera, Robert Bowen and Kosinski on the microphone. Stolen there by Carver. Carver off the glass and scores. That is a Morse Shipbuilder lead.
That's not what the Dragons want to see at all. They got a couple good players in foul trouble, and now they are going to be down going into half unless they can make something happen here.
Here is Gray. As he frantically tries to beat the zone, here is Gray, will dribble. Cornell Myers surveys, bounces to Quinn. Quinn. He is under duress by Tabor Gale, number 10 in white. Turned over, Bustamante, odd man rush for Morse, and they can't get it to go. Moore with the rebound, 20 seconds left. Cornell Myers, here's Quinn. Quinn tries to pull up. He'll get the whistle.
Quinn needs to see that play and go straight to the rim. We have word now that school is canceled tomorrow.
School has been canceled. Very sad. I will be missing my party in Calculus, BC. Kaz, do you think there'll still be a hockey game with no school?
I really couldn't tell you, Robert. I mean, maybe.
15 seconds left. Cornell Myers lost it to White. Dragons desperately trying to retake the lead before the half. Quinn with 10 seconds. He'll drive outside to Gray for 3 after the whistle. It wouldn't go anyway.
Dragons happy to get the foul there. They're 1 away from the bonus now, though. Trying to communicate a play with Clark. Oh, actually, sorry, they're in the bonus here.
Seven seconds. Quinn will hit it off the back of the rim, and we have a tied ball game, Kaz, once again. Huge shot. Quinn will look to take the lead with 7.4 seconds left. And he does, he hits both. Dragon lead, Tabor Gale will bounce it to Carver. Carver with 5. He'll look for the buzzer beater as half expires. This is Becker. Becker will not hit it. The Dragons lead, but it's a tenuous grasp. Ethan Patterson says that there is no hockey game tomorrow if there's no school, so that's very sad. I was looking forward to that Coney game. But Kaz, just insane. This is the Dragons team once again, coming in at 3-1. Morse, I'm not sure what their record is, but I do know that they're ranked number 13 in Class B South to this Dragons team that is number 3 in A North. And the Dragons have just a 1-point lead.
Yeah, not great for the Dragons. Hold up. I was wondering where... All right, never mind. Sorry, Robert. Yeah, the Dragons definitely are going to look to make some changes in the second half. I assume they're going to change their zone-breaking offense. If I were them, I think it would be wise to put in a freelance-style offense in which you have 2 guys on a low block, 2 guys on each wing, and a guy up top. And maybe set a couple down screens, have a guy flare out, just anything to try and throw the zone off. Because a zone with even a really, really bad team can be an excellent defensive strategy. I think that's what Morse is doing here. I think at their roots, they're the worst team by a lot here. I don't think player for player they're anywhere near better than us. But that zone defense is so hard to break. Morse has only managed to score 22 points this half. And Dragons have only managed 23. That means the Dragons defense typically is holding teams to 20-ish a half. Yeah. But they're not typically scoring only 23 a half. So that's where the difference is. It's on the Dragons offensive side and therefore Morse's defensive side. And we can trace it back to that zone defense.
Kaz, I'll throw it back here, wondering if there are any Gardner lacrosse players watching this stream. Of course there are. We were a heavily favored Brunswick lacrosse team against Gardner this season. And what they did, guess what they did? Guess what that Gardner team did to fluster our offense that they were frankly mismatched against?
Put in a zone.
They put in a zone, and we were honestly, our offense was flustered in that first half. I'm telling you, we were much better than that Gardner team. And I think we're up by like 1 at halftime. I think we might have even been losing at the quarter. And then in the second half, we started to learn how to break the zone, and things did really click.
I got kicked off the baseline.
Sam Jansen, you got kicked off the baseline for taking photos?
Yeah, it's bad.
Sam, we have word that school tomorrow has been canceled. I unfortunately do believe this means that your hockey game has also been canceled.
Okay. You want to play lacrosse?
Sam, we might be able to play lacrosse, but if the wind is too dangerous, then we probably should stay home.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sam Jansen, of course, recently called up to varsity for Brunswick Freeport.
Is it off?
Well, thank you guys for joining us here for the first half of action. Kosinski and Robert Bowen on the microphone, Brandon Ware on the camera, Tommy Visco on the stats, and Ryan Livesay on the scoreboard. Brunswick leads 23-22 at the half. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to our second half of action here. Still getting us underway, Kaz. They started that second half awfully quick. Are you ready to play by play?
I absolutely am, Robert. I'm very excited. Just one moment.
That was the steal.
All right, welcome back. Dragons Dragons lead 23-22 here going into the second half. Shaw carries the ball up the court. Morse sitting in a full court press. Shaw outlets to the corner. It's Owen Quinn now with the ball in the corner. Drives higher up the wing, finds Gray at the top of the circle. Gray cuts left, finds Shaw in the corner. Shaw dumps it down to Round in the low block. Out to Shaw. Shaw does not look for the shot. Over to Quinn. Quinn will look for the shot. Shot up. His three won't go. Gray comes down with the rebound to the charity stripe. Over to Shaw. Shaw looks to shoot. His Shaw won't find the rim. Out to Lay in the corner. Lay will slow things down. Dump it to Johnny on the wing. Shaw now up top. Over to Johnny. Johnny Porter's shot. That will go, and Johnny's going to get excited about that one. He's riling the crowd up.
Kaz, the recipe for success could not be any simpler. A zone forces you or allows you to shoot more from the outside. The shots just have to start falling for Brunswick. It took them 3 tries there, but Porter eventually got it to fall. That's a huge shot.
Yeah, and that's going to be a momentum swinger for the Dragons. And Johnny Porter is going to be pissed about that one. That was not entirely his fault. His hand got trapped around there, and the dude spins him around. That dude being Dylan Root, of course. Inbound coming now from Colton Aswan. Root up top to Becker. Becker now on the wing, guarded by Brendan Shaw. Finds Dylan Root low. Johnny, that was Porter who got beat around the back by him, but Rylan Lay comes up big with the block. It'll be Morse ball down low.
Just a beautiful defensive play there by 21 in black.
And we're going to see Colton Aswan look to inbound again. He'll get it into Bryce Bustamante, who's back into Root, but Rylan Lay is once again there for the contest. Rylan Lay with 2 blocks now.
The cornerstone of that defense, the anchor, right in the center. Rylan Lay back-to-back blocks.
And timing is everything on those Lay blocks, because he's not necessarily getting ridiculously high, but he's just right where the ball is. And Colton Aswan looks to inbound again. Can't make much happen. And they're going to get them with a 5-second violation there. They failed to inbound with the ball within 5 seconds of receiving it, and therefore a turnover.
Kaz, Morse trying to get fancy. They set 2 screens and had 2 people sweep around the screen trying to get open. A coin could not find any of them and ended up getting the violation. Morse gets the ball right back, though, and a coin will try it again.
Yes, he will. A coin looks to inbound. Becker was open cutting the basket, but Shaw covered him up to Bustamante. He'll see a coin in the corner. It makes it go at the rim, but Lay will come down with the rebound. Lay looks to push the fast break. Now Quinn in transition, outlets to Porter. Porter back into Quinn. Quinn to the corner where Porter receives it. Lay at the top. Lay on the right wing, out to Owen Quinn, who's open in the corner. Lay was looking to slow it down now, who's swinging around to Logan, who cuts to the basket. Gray out to Shaw. Shaw's 3-pointer won't go. It's off left, and they're going to ring him up for a foul there. Robert, I will say these refs have been very trigger happy on the foul call tonight.
That's right, Kaz, and thankfully we know that they've been right every single time.
Yes, we do. Ball inbounded to Bustamante. Quinn is going to pick him up at half court. He'll get a screen from Root, but that screen won't go anywhere. Over to Nolan Becker. Shaw stays with him. Isaac Amundsen in the corner. Lay will come down with another rebound there. Lay takes it himself, outlet to Johnny Porter. Johnny Porter up to Brendan Shaw. Brendan Shaw will see Owen Quinn in the corner. Over to 21, Rylan Lay. Lay bumps and passes to Porter. Shaw drives low. And they're going to call no foul there, which, quite frankly, is ridiculous, as you can hear the slap on the arm.
Yeah, you could see Shaw's glasses fall forward. Luckily, he's got the strap on the back of those goggles, so they did not fall down.
Inbound goes straight to Lay, who puts an early 3 up in the corner. It's a good look for the Dragons. In transition now, Porter and Lay are en route. Bustamante recovers in the corner. Puts the ball on the floor, picks it up now. He'll be smothered. Ball will come to Porter, who finds Lay for the outlet. Lay now driving down. Over to Gray. Gray goes low. Kicks Shaw, now Porter open at the top of the key, pumps. He'll jump. Lay now. Drives in, Shaw open. Gray will take the three. Won't go, but Lay rebounds. Gray cuts to the basket. They're going to ring up Isaac Amundsen for the foul there, and we will see 2 shots from Shaw.
Kaz, we know what the Dragons have to do. They just have to start hitting threes, and they're not right now. Coach Clark maybe trying to get some more things going on the inside. That's why he's putting in Humberto Moyenga. Get some size in the middle of that zone. Try to loft it up to him, see what he can do in the paint.
Absolutely, and we're going to see Humberto Moyenga check in for Brunswick, their biggest guy. Johnny Porter communicating with him early. I think they're putting in Moyenga to kind of screw with this Bath defense. The Shipbuilders have nobody even near Moyenga's size. Ball inbounded now to number 23, a Coin. That was Quinn who looked to jump the screen as the ball came to Carver. Out to Nolan Becker, whose shot won't go. It's off the rim. Brendan Shaw fights through the rebounding. Logan Gray comes down with it. He'll outlet to Johnny Porter. Porter on the wing. Gray on the wing as well. Porter pumps. Finds Humberto Moyenga inside, whose shot won't go, but that's a great look out of Brunswick. Quinn now into Moyenga, whose shot will go this time.
Kaz, that's exactly what I said. Get the ball to Humberto in the center of that zone, have him just tower over everyone and put the ball in the back of the net. Brendan Shaw appeared to be in some pain there. I wonder if it looked like his glasses or his eye or forehead area was hit once again. See him rubbing his temple there. Hope that Shaw is okay, number 10 in black.
And the Brunswick coaching staff is going to disagree on that one. They'll say he moved into him, but Coach Clark will not agree with that one. Now Moyenga is only listed at either 6'3 or 6'4, but he's much bigger than that. He may only be that height, but he is wide and he is strong. And that is the difference maker inside, just overall size. That's why Trevor Garish, who was 6'5", 6'6", still managed to take up so much space because he was a big guy, he was strong. Now 2 shots will fall for Morse. Shaw over to Gray. Gray goes downhill, finds Porter, who puts his dribble on the floor. Into Moyenga, they're going to get a push on Dylan Root. That's going to be a common theme here. Morse is not big enough to really guard Humberto one-on-one fair, so they're going to either have to double or foul, and both of those options aren't great. Especially in a zone for Morse. They're going to see Humberto Moyenga inside early. Can't handle the ball. Will put it up and get his own rebound. Will put it up again and score.
Kaz, the recipe very, very clear. We both laid it out just like that. He's going to tower over in the middle of that zone and put balls away. Tabor Gale will check back in for the Shipbuilders. I've played a good amount of lacrosse with Tabor over the past couple of years, I should say, with the Maine Muscles. So shout out to 10 in white.
And they're going to call a block on Brendan Shaw there. The refs have gotten this call wrong as well, although they're always right. This call I don't entirely agree with. However, the official position of BHSN does agree with the refs. Inbound will go to Becker. Shaw defending. And they're going to get him with another block. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. That is not a blocking foul. They're going to put Pernell Myers in for Shaw.
Kaz, I believe that is the 4th foul for Brendan Shaw, and that's one away from fouling out, obviously, right?
It is.
So Shaw going to the bench to protect him there from fouling out. He'll go back in the 4th quarter when it's better to risk that. Don't want to lose Shaw for the rest of the game. Tommy Visco, keeping our in-game stats, was the one who informed me of that, so thank you, Tommy.
Big shout out to Tommy working the stats tonight. And Becker will go 1 for 2 from the line. Morse has been extremely inconsistent from the charity stripe tonight. It's been hurting them badly. Pernell Myers now dribbles down. Porter on the wing. Fakes the pass. Back out to Pernell Myers. His shot won't go. And Dragons ball. Dragons will come down with the rebound as it's back into Humberto, who couldn't get his own rebound. It was Pernell Myers that ended up knocking it out of his hands. Dragons now tightly defending. Dragons do need to be careful. The refs are very whistle happy tonight. I don't think they'll be receiving any grace on any kind of calls. That was,
There he is, Kaz. Tabor Gale.
Tabor Gale, good friend of Robert Bowen. Good lacrosse player as well, I hear. Johnny Porter with a deep three. He can't quite stroke it. Logan Gray will go up, get the foul, and we'll be seeing 2 from the line for him.
Tabor dealing with some sort of knee injury. You can see that black brace on his left knee, but he can still hit a mid-range jumper, and he does for the Shipbuilders, cutting the lead down to 4 for the Dragons. Gray will get the free throw and hit it.
Gray's first look at the charity stripe will go. And his second will also go. It can never be truly stated how important it is to be able to make free throws.
Yeah, Kaz, I'll be a little hard on Gray here. Oh, rejected by Umberto Moyenga.
Moyenga comes flying through for the block. He did not want that shot going anywhere near the rim.
Okay. Gray has not shot the ball well from 3 tonight. I believe we can say that. But if you can hit those little shots like that from the free throw, just huge for your team.
Now Umberto Moyenga staying perfectly vertical, which is what he's been told to do by coach. It's a very important aspect of the game, as he will not foul if he's perfectly vertical. Johnny Porter with a hustle play. Purnell ahead to Umberto Moyenga. Pumps once, and he'll get the foul. Moyenga will be going to the charity stripe. Great sequence from the Brunswick Dragons here.
As you said, Kaz, the only way that Morse can stop Moyenga is to foul, and I don't remember the other option you had.
Double him. Double him, to double Moyenga, here's what they would have to do. They'd have to have one guy fronting the post, meaning sitting in front of him and looking to deflect any entrance pass, and one guy behind him to really try and hold him down, and that is a waste of 2 players.
Well, Kaz, Morse did you one better. Not just doubling, not just fouling, but having 2 guys foul him as he's trying to score.
They're testing both opportunities at once, which is foolish because you can never derive 2 variables from one equation.
Shout out to Mrs. Dolan, our BC calculus teacher. Very sorry, Miss Dolan, that we cannot have our calculus party tomorrow.
We are sad to be missing that. And they're going to say that Tabor Gale went early there, and we're going to get another free throw from Moyenga.
No way.
Robert doesn't buy it. Moyenga back in his routine. His shot will go. Nothing but net, and Moyenga adds more to his total for the night. Tommy, what do we got for Umberto points?
5.
Umberto up to 5 on the night in his only a few minutes of playing so far.
Yeah, Kaz, when he went in the last 3 minutes of the game against Gardner on Tuesday, he scored 8 points. So he can score a lot in a short period of time, 44 in black.
And Coach Clark telling Umberto to stay in the paint, as that's where he will be most useful. He did sneak up on the perimeter there to guard Landon Lester, but they want to keep him inside. That will be, that shot will go for Aucoin. Aucoin. Second for Aucoin will fall. Gray inbounds to Purnell Amaya. Gray will drive down. Tebow in the front court. Purnell in the front court now. Over to Porter on the wing. And we're going to see that double already moving towards Umberto when the ball gets near him. Over to Tebow. Tebow will swing to the corner where Purnell will come down with it. Purnell in the corner again. They're looking to get Umberto inside. That ball will be tipped by Tabor Gale, and Brunswick will inbound from the low point here. Dragons running a 4-flat inbound play here. 4 guys lined up across the baseline.
Our unknown number 15 in white will check in for Lester. Kaz, Umberto Moyenga taking that spot in at the post for the Dragons. He took out Rylan Lay in that spot. Lay still leads the team with 7 rebounds tonight. It's a pretty high number there.
It absolutely is. Purnell will take a mid-range jumper, and he'll get that to fall. Great look from Gabe Purnell Amayas.
The threes have not been falling, but Purnell Amayas hits a beautiful long 2.
And that's going to be Dragons' ball. He'll have dribbled it off its own foot. That was a coin there. And Dragons take over. Dragons lead by 7. Running a half-court trap here. Jackson Tebow will be the one to break it. He'll find Gray. Gray finds Porter. Porter looks to shoot. Finds Tebow in the corner. Tebow's 3. Won't go, and it's going to be Moyenga on the rebound. Pernell Amaya's foot on the line. Shot won't go. Moyenga was up in there mixing things up again, but he won't come down with it. Morse crosses half court. Nolan Becker at the wheel. Becker finds Carver in the corner. And they're going to get a charge, or an offensive foul. They're going to get a blocking foul on Carver, I believe. No, actually, they're going to ring Nolan Becker up with the foul here.
Kaz, the Dragons have extended this lead by great play inside from Pernell Amayas and obviously compared to Moyenga. But the reason that they only have a 7-point lead is because the threes have just not been falling. If they wanted to dominate this game like they expected to, they have to hit threes. And they just have not tonight. Really
yes, they do. And they're going to ring up another foul there. I believe it was on Tabor Gale. Tabor Gale will be rung up with a blocking foul there.
And Kaz, a big reason why, who I would call their best three-point shooter, who had 2 in the first quarter, Brendan Shaw, has 4 fouls. So he really can't play until the fourth quarter.
Well, they also don't have, who I believe might be their best three-point shooter,
Owen
McGrath,
okay.
not here today. He is a sharpshooter. He is out sick with a 104-degree fever. We are wishing him well, hoping he gets better soon. He is an important piece of this team, and we'd have loved to see him here tonight. Hoping you're better, Owen, if you're watching this.
Hope you're watching, Owen. God bless.
Pernell Amaya is now from the line. His second will go. Dragons extend their lead to 9. Now here comes O'Coin down the court. Gray will pick him up. The ball will be swung over to Julian Carver. Tebow guarding him. Back to Nolan Becker. And Carver, Tebow shuffling his feet quickly. Swings it over to Taylor Carver. Umberto jumps. Carver's shot is not good. And that's the end of the third quarter there for the Dragons as they lead by 9 points.
Kaz, do you think that Ryan Livesay will remember to change it to the fourth quarter this time?
I don't, but I'm hoping he will.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Any trash found near you in the stands and placing it in the proper receptacles located throughout the building. Thank you for your cooperation.
It appears he also set it back to 10 minutes instead of 8, so I'll look into fixing that.
We're going to go ahead and fix that. We do appreciate Ryan Livesay and the work he's doing tonight. Working the scoreboard is such an important job. Of course, that scoreboard is sponsored by Singer Domingo Sportside Real Estate Group.
Once again, the fantastic crew here at BHSN tonight. We're without the great Ethan Patterson. He'll receive his third shout-out of the night. But we have Brandon Ware on the camera, Robert Bowen and Kosinski on the microphone, Tommy Visco doing in-game stats, and Ryan Livesay on that Singer Domingo Portside Real Estate sponsored scoreboard. So thank you to our 5-man crew, Ethan Patterson. We await your return.
We are looking forward to seeing Ethan again. Of course, sadly, we will not be seeing him at the hockey game tomorrow night as it has been canceled. So BHSN will be taking the day off tomorrow, I assume.
Yeah, Kaz, both Dragon hockey games this week have been canceled. Pretty unheard of. On Tuesday, Zamboni issues canceled the game against Gardner Winslow. And now wind. So Zamboni and wind. That's why we can't play hockey games.
That is. Robert, do we have any word on either of the girls hockey or girls home basketball games? Of course, we would have done the girls home basketball. The athletic director informed us that it was not going to work. We do not have Wi-Fi at our school still. We will be looking to factor in a couple girls basketball games soon. And tonight would have been a nice one to do. But we do not have any technological function as Logan Gray will hit a 3, his first of the night. Landon Carver drives down now. Finds Nolan Becker. Nolan Becker dumps it inside to Isaac Amundsen. But Rylan Lay will strip the ball away, and Logan Gray pushing the fast break now. Drops his shoulder, and his layup will go. Extending the Dragons' lead to 14 points now. Here comes Carver. And that's going to force Morse to take a timeout. Huge momentum swinger there. Logan Gray now into double digits with 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals. Those stats are courtesy of Tommy Visco, working the in-game scoring tonight. You can just search. You can only assume Morse is going to put in some desperation something here as they do trail by quite a bit in the fourth quarter now. 7 minutes to go. Not the situation you want to be in. Dragons will come out with Pernell Amaez, Logan Gray, Lay, Owen Quinn, and Jonathan Porter. Robert Bowen now sporting the Boston College hat, his future alma mater.
Yeah, thank you, Sam Jansen, for returning that.
Big play by Gray there to dive and keep it in bounds. The ball has no real possession. He'll swing it out to Gray. Gray, his three won't go. It's too strong off the back rim. Ball almost tipped back in. Porter went up with the shot. He'll get fouled on the way down. They're going to give him 2 shots for that.
That's some great play in the paint there, Kaz. Of course, with that zone coverage, anytime that ball winds up in the paint, you're going to be surrounded by about 4 Shipbuilders. Requires some toughness and physicality.
Absolutely. Johnny Porter, master of both those traits. An excellent basketball player as well. He'll stick his first free throw, bringing his total to 6 on the night. Sorry, that will be 7 on the night. How funny. Second one from Porter. He'll be in double digits now.
Yeah, Kaz, Brendan Shaw was in the lead in points with 10, and he was having a pretty great game, scored 2 3-pointers in the first quarter, but ever since he got the 4 fouls, he's been out of the game, and Logan Gray leads the team with 12.
The problem is, if they put him in and he gets that fatal 5th foul, he will no longer be allowed to come back, and if they do end up needing him late in the game, they won't have the option to bring him back. Great defense from the inside Brunswick Dragons there. Johnny Porter collects, finds Gray. Gray over to Lay. Back to Porter. Shot. Won't go as it's strong off the back rim. Gray finds Lay. I feel like the Gray to Lay connection is very... What's the word, Robert?
Rhyming?
Rhyming. That checks out. Ball at top with Porter. Takes a few steps back. Swings to Pernell. Pernell over to Porter. Puts the ball on the floor. Over to Gray. We'll have it knocked out of bounds, and it won't change that much as Dragons will retain possession at the same spot.
Kaz, after that very, very tightly matched first half, where the final score was 23-22 Brunswick, Brunswick just really been pulling away. They've outscored Morse. Okay, quick math here.
21-7.
21-7 here in the second half.
Robert with some
21-7, yeah.
medium speed math there.
Kaz is one of the best. Earlier this year in AP Environmental Science, we were conducting a survey at a local cemetery about a survivorship graph with Mr. McCullough, and we were trying to figure out how the ages that people died in the town of Brunswick in the cemetery. And we were collecting data from a whole bunch of different groups, adding up the amount of people in each age group, and Kaz was just rattling off that addition, just pretty remarkable. 8 plus 15 plus 17 plus 16 plus 24, and Kaz just had the answer right away. Kaz, what is that?
I was not fully listening, Rob. I'm sorry. I was taking a sip of the Diet Pepsi that is not sponsored by Portside Singer Domingos Real Estate Group, but I do appreciate the compliment there. As the Dragons, Logan Gray will strip it away, send it up to Quinn. Quinn's left-handed layup will fall.
Unselfish play there by Gray. Obviously the right move to give it to Quinn. If Quinn had not been there, Gray probably would have went for a dunk, as he might do just here.
And he will. He'll get up on the rim and throw that one down. He was not going to miss a second one. And Clark looks happy. Clark was unhappy earlier after Gray missed the dunk. But now Logan Gray on the rim, a big momentum play.
Call me a crystal ball, Kaz. Right on cue. Logan Gray redeems himself and has a big lead for Brunswick.
And Dragons.
Logan Gray has 5 steals tonight. Thanks, of course, to Tommy Visco running the in-game stats.
Big thanks to Tommy Visco. Who did we interview in the first game, Robert?
Rylan Lay and Logan Gray.
So that means we probably can't do an interview with those two today.
We have word that the Brunswick girls ice hockey team lost 3-1 to Cheverus today, the reigning state champions, in a rematch of that state championship in February. Jillian Countway scored the lone goal for girls hockey with a, quote, crazy bar down snipe. So that's pretty cool, but 3-1 loss for girls hockey.
All right. My bad. Ball inbounded to Carver there. Quinn the first to defend it. Ball over the top couldn't be put into Amundsen as Rylan Lay was the first one there. Got his paw on it. See Quinn in the corner. Quinn with all kinds of time. He'll take a three and he'll splash that down. Dragons lead 51-29. This is no longer a close game.
The floodgates have been opened, Kaz.
And Quinn will steal it at half court. Oh, that would suck to have Quinn guard you. That dude is an animal. You try and put the ball on the floor. If you don't have a tight handle, he is going to be taking that ball straight from your pocket. It would make a great pickpocket, actually.
I don't think so.
No, we don't condone pickpocketing, but if we did, it would be my first pick. Ball up top with Brendan Shaw. Over to Logan Gray. Gray now possesses. Tries to drive in. He'll see Shaw. Shaw going to be playing pretty conservatively here as he is almost maxed out on fouls, and we'd like to see him not foul out. Quinn now guarded by Carver. Quinn continues to possess, crosses over, gets around Carver, goes downhill, and his dish won't make it over there as it will be bumped out of bounds, and Brunswick will retain possession.
Sam Jansen told me that he once again got beautiful photos of every stage of Logan Gray's dunk just then. So check out Sam Jansen Photography on Instagram to see those photos.
And the Brunswick student section now chanting, "This is our house." One of the most hurtful things you can say at an opposing school, especially one that believes that they are rivals. And they're going to ring up a blocking foul on a coin there.
Yeah, Kaz, I don't want to be too mean here, but I've learned that at Morse High School, they view Brunswick to be their biggest rivals, whereas Brunswick views now Erat to be our biggest rivals.
Yeah, so it's
not a great look.
It's a real one-way relationship. Gray guarded by a coin, up to Lay, guarded by Amundsen. He's going to blow right by him, go to the rim, and they're going to ring him up a blocking foul on Bustamante there. And 2 free throws coming in hot here from Rylan Lay. It looks like the Dragons are going to put this game away pretty easily, Robert.
I would have to agree. Just 3 minutes remaining here, which of course you can see thanks to Ryan Livesay running our Cinco Domingo Courtside Real Estate sponsored scoreboard. Rylan Lay will not hit that free throw. Quinn and Shaw having a conversation on that blue Morse M. What do you think they're talking about, Kaz? Calculus?
All the ways they can celebrate this win. No school for the Brunswick High School tomorrow. Other schools still are in session. But for all you high schoolers watching at home, enjoy your evening. Take it easy and get excited for a long winter break that was just made longer by an extra day. And for the first time in a while, Morse will get a few points on the board. I believe that's their first of the quarter, actually.
Yeah.
And we're going to get a timeout from Brunswick here, likely to get some subs in.
This is a Dragon team that it's pretty cool to see. Every player on varsity this season, Kaz, has played, which you would expect here through 4 games, but it seems like every player on the roster has played a good amount this season, and we'll see those deeper parts of the roster right about now.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure we've mentioned this to the boys before. Having a deep roster is really meaningful to all of them because it connects you as a team when everybody's playing quality minutes.
I see what you mean now, Kaz. Logan Gray and Rylan Lay, 2 biggest stars on the night. They both have 7 rebounds. as well as a plethora of points. Gray leads the team with, Tommy's holding the computer a little far away. Let me get a little closer look.
13
points. Kaz has just, I believe I have 20/20 vision, and I couldn't see that from here, so I don't know what type of vision Kaz has. But
Last time I was at the doctor, it was 20/11 in both eyes.
that's worse, I think.
That's better.
That's better?
My father wears glasses, and he has 20/65 vision. So
That's
something
worse.
you should be able to see from 65 feet, you can only see from 20 feet.
Oh.
So something I'm supposed to be able to see from 11 feet, I can see from 20 feet. That's how that works. 20 from 20.
That's incredible.
It is. It's
How,
a great.
how rare is that vision, Kaz?
I really don't know. Eat your carrots, guys.
That is, of course, a myth. That was a myth that the British Royal Air Force, the RAF, if you will, invented in World War II when they had really developed radar technology. So they used that radar technology to identify German planes. And the German Luftwaffe was really confused, like, how in the world are these British pilots finding where we are so easily? So the British started an ad campaign saying that carrots gave better eyesight to their pilots. And that's why they could find the Luftwaffe planes so easily, as opposed to the new radar technology.
That's very interesting, Robert. That's a cool fun fact. We're going to get a full 60-second timeout here from Morse. Of course, 2 arms to the side is a 60-second, a double tap to the shoulder. It's a 30-second timeout. Cool fact about basketball timeouts.
That is one of the coolest facts I've heard today.
Very cool. We're full of cool facts here at BHSN. You know, come for the sports, stay for the facts, is I believe what they say about us.
I was just talking to some of our fans yesterday, and they said, "Hey, we really come for the sports, but stay for the facts." So
It's a pretty known slogan, I would say.
I think we'll have to change the YouTube description to that phrase.
I think we should.
51-33. This was a scary first half, Kaz. Actually, it was pretty much exactly what I described about that Gardner lacrosse game. Very scary first half. We were like, how in the world do we beat this zone? This Gardner team that's way below us is stifling our offense. And in the second half, we figured it out, and we were able to put together a great second half. We won that game by about 7 goals, I think, and that's maybe transferable to 20 points or 18 points.
We're going to see D. Suss and Alan Swag enter the game now for the Dragons. Declan will inbound the ball to Gabe Purnell, who can't get it back to Declan. Dylan Root will go through contact to get the and one. Dragons lead by 16 now. As long as they can not give up too many more points and maybe put a couple of their own on the board, this game should be sealed for the Dragons.
I would agree. Dylan Root, of course, not the only former high school varsity starting quarterback in the building. Of course, I saw Cam Beal earlier, former Brunswick starting quarterback.
And DeSauce will take the ball up the court now, and he'll be quickly fouled by Bustamante, sorry. And DeSauce will head to the charity stripe here.
Could you explain to the folks at home who DeSauce is?
DeSauce is Declan DeBurge, who was our goalie during soccer season, and in the Camden Hills regional final, he entered a different mode and saved 5 of the 9 penalties the other team shot, which is, for you folks at home, you need to understand how ridiculous that is. That is like God-tier goalkeeping. And so he started being called Jesus, as in like Declan and Jesus merged into one. And from that, he became DeSauce.
Just to like walk back the sacrilegious nature, just say DeSauce as opposed to Jesus.
Yes.
That's sensible.
Very sensible. And we're going to get another and one here from Morse. As we wonder if Coach Clark's nerves are getting a little fired up, as it is only a 13-point game now. Morse fouls quickly to send Brunswick back to the free throw line. They are fouling early. A minute 54 left to go. Both of these free throws are super important for Gabe, as if he makes them, it will nearly cancel out with Morse's possession. And if they continue to do this, Morse will struggle to build a lead. But defensively, the Dragons need to hold strong. Of course, Gabe Purnell is one of the best free throw shooters on the team. He's absolutely automatic from it. Got his routine set down. Very rarely misses them. Please don't have had me jinx it. Just please make it, Gabe. Please, please, please. And he does. Thank you. Wow, that was close, Rob.
Kaz, the announcer jinx is tough. I had a bad one earlier when I predicted that when Gray got that beautiful SWAT steal and had a breakaway, and I said, will he go for the dunk? And then he promptly did go for the dunk and missed it.
Yeah, that's never great. You always feel a little bit guilty after. And they're going to send Declan to the free throw stripe now. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for some points for the Dragons here as they're being sent to the free throw line every time they touch the ball. It's early. Even for Morse's standards, it's early. Out the Burge, an athletic wing for the Dragons. Great defender, good inside. He's not a bad shooter, of course. He's a good shooter. But
you talk about that shootout against Camden Hills in that semifinal soccer game. It was Rufino Kabamba who hit one of those goals for you guys in that game. And you can see him right below the baseline taking photos on that free throw. You can see him right there on the left side of your screen. Hit a beautiful goal in that penalty kick session.
He did. He absolutely thundered it into the back of the net to... It's not that important. You're good. And, of course, Finn White out there, a crucial part of the soccer season as well. Big energy guy. He was a captain this year.
Were you just talking about jinxing Pernell Amayas' free throws?
Yeah, I did it again. He won't miss this one, though. Watch.
He will not miss this one. I'll do it too, so it's not just your fault. He is not going to miss this. My bad, Kaz.
God, I mean, that's crazy. Dragons in defense now, more.
You know what I say. You try to take the blame as an announcer, so then the players don't blame themselves. It's our fault, not theirs.
Right on. And this is going to be the slowest 2 minutes of basketball ever. So they're going back to the free throw line. Dragons still lead by 16. Again, 40 seconds earlier, they led by 16. And all of this trial and error of the fouling business has not changed anything quite yet.
Kaz, I noticed that Morse still has their starters in against the Dragons. Still, Lennox Moore and Pernell Myers obviously played a huge chunk of the game. And Finn White did too. But still, going into the bench here for the Dragons against the Morse starters. Morse trailing here by 14 in a minute 14. Still believe they can win. Well, 15. Declan DeBurge, savvy play.
Declan with another heads-up play there. You know, the goalkeeper is probably the smartest player on the field, and Declan showing that there. Throwing it off the legs. He'll go to inbound now. I do personally think that Declan is one of the best athletes in the high school. Oh, Finn White's pass will go through the legs of Lennox Moore and fall out of bounds. Now here comes Morris the other way. Landon Carver leading the lines. Finn White, the first one there. It will be a deep three from a coin there. Pernell Amayas outlets to Lennox Moore, who pushes the break and dishes to Alan Swain. Alan Swain over to Pernell Amayas. Precious seconds tick off the clock as Bustamante will foul Pernell Amayas, who will go back to the line here. Morse with that three does narrow this down to a 12-point game.
Yeah, we really have not seen Morse shoot the ball like that at all tonight, but beautiful shot from deep by a coin. From three with a few feet to spare.
Yeah, you'd think if they had been shooting like that throughout the entire game, maybe they'd have a better chance. Pernell Amayas back on his hot streak, knocks down the first free throw.
Kaz, this is going to be the Dragons' well, I don't want to jinx it. I think it's okay to say. This will be the Dragons' lowest scoring win of the season.
I think so. They might hit 60, though, which is not a bad mark. They didn't hit 60 once last year.
Yeah, it's a good point. They have 60 in all three of their wins, their lowest being a 65 to 35, about something like that, win over Messalonsky. Maybe 40, 65-40.
And a coin now knocks down a step-back three. Dragons up by 11 with 30 seconds. He makes it closer, but 11 is still a big gap to close in 30 seconds.
You know, they do call it the hot hand fallacy, but it's pretty clear who has the hot hand right now. 23 in white, Colton a coin, back-to-back huge deep threes.
That's very true, Robert.
How do you feel about interviewing Gabe? Free throws in the clutch. He's got 8 points in high school. I think it's a good idea. He's a great interviewee as well. He's very smart.
Dragons come out of the huddle here, and we're going to see a return of the full court press from Morse. Gabe with 8 points now for the Dragons. You see the go route from Lennox Moore. They won't find him. And Gabe is going to be fouled again.
I believe Gabe Purnell-Myers came into this game with 6 points and has 8 tonight, thanks, of course, to Tommy Visco on the in-game stats. So he has more than doubled his season scoring.
Season total.
That's it. There's the vocabulary word I was looking for.
Robert is experiencing some technical difficulties tonight.
Yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties.
His first shot won't fall. And looks for his second. Gabe has good shoe game, I'm realizing. I like those.
Seems to be matching with a coin.
Somewhat.
I think they coordinated that.
I don't really, I'll be honest. And Purnell Amaya is now running the fast break. Finn White went behind the back. Didn't get it to go. And a coin probably needs to get a shot up at some point, you'd think. And that'll do it here. Dragons sneak away with a 57-45 W in the Morse Shipbuilder house.
Thank you all for coming out to Morse High tonight.
Kaz, it's about time to award our player of the game. Let's take a quick look at these Tommy Visco in-game stats, and you give your thoughts, I'll give mine. I'm looking at this. Logan Gray scored 13 points, had 7 rebounds, had 5 steals. Just a fantastic game from him. And you can get on Logan for missing a lot of threes. I don't believe he hit one tonight, Kaz.
He did hit one.
He did hit one. Okay, so 1 3 on more than one attempt, but just a great job by him to bounce back and score a lot of tough points in the paint and from the line, and have 7 rebounds and 5 steals. That's my pick, Kaz. If you have a different idea, we can talk about it.
You know, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go Logan Gray. Definitely 13 and 7 is a stat line to reckon with. That's for sure. So yeah, I think Logan Gray gets player of the game tonight.
That's awesome, Kaz. Thank you all so much for joining us here on Brunswick High Sports Network. It was a bit of a scary game at the beginning. This heavily favored Dragon team was leading by only 1 at halftime, but they pull it out with a beautiful second half, beating that Morse zone defense. Ryan Livesay ran the scoreboard, Tommy Visco on the in-game stats, Kosinski and Robert Bowen on the microphone, and of course Brandon Ware on the camera. We thank you all so much for joining us here on Brunswick High Sports Network. Brunswick advances to 4-1 with a 57-45 win over the Morse Shipbuilders.